students ஓகேவா?
இல்லையே, அதுதான் பாருங்க, யாரும் வரல. நான் கிரேட் பண்ணிருக்கேன், யாரும் ஜாயின் பண்ணல.
கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? லைவ் போங்க, நான்
லைவ்
ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வர சொல்றேன்.
சரி. Ramkumar, good afternoon. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible? Please respond. Yes, I am audible, right? So let me just continue. Sorry, there was some interruption. So firstly, I was discussing with you about Pandas library. What is the use of Pandas library? Today I am going to discuss. So next I am going to discuss with you about Numpy library. So what is the use of Numpy library? Yes, good afternoon. So it is having more than one dimension. So np dot array of, so it is having more than one dimension, and I am printing this at the output. So whichever modules or libraries I want to use, first I need to import the corresponding modules and libraries as np, and using the alias name using dot operator, I am just creating an array. Whichever inbuilt functions of Numpy I want to use, using the alias name using dot operator, I am just calling this array. And it is having more than one dimension. So within simple bracket and double square bracket, this is my first dimension and this is my second dimension. So it is having more than one dimension, they are being separated by comma. So what is the use of this Numpy library? If I want to do any of the mathematical operations, I can go for this Numpy library. Numpy stands for numerical Python. If I want to do any of the mathematical operations, I can go for this Numpy library. There is one more important library, it is called as the Matplotlib library. So what is the use of Matplotlib library? It is used for performing any kind of data visualization task. If I want to do any of the EDA part visualization, so I can go for this Matplotlib library. Different types of plot available in this Matplotlib library. Let me just show you a simple example of this. So all these are the different types of plots available in the Matplotlib library. So I have a bar plot, I have bar chart, and then polar plot. So all these are the different types of plots available in the Matplotlib library. So based on my requirement, I can use any of these plots available in the matplotlib library. So firstly, I am going to discuss with you about line plot. So in doing any kind of machine learning development, so EDA, visual analysis, I need to analyze my features. So how I am going to understand my features with the help of various types of visualization plots. So EDA, exploratory data analysis, it plays a very important step in improving the accuracy of my entire prediction model. So the first type of plot is the line plot. From matplotlib, I am importing pyplot as PLT. And I am storing this x and y values. For example, x equal to within square bracket, I am storing some numbers. And y equal to within square bracket, I am storing some numbers. And PLT dot plot function. So whichever inbuilt functionalities of matplotlib I want to use, using the alias name, using dot operator, I am just calling this plot function. And I am passing these two parameters. So x and y, these two are given as inputs to my plot function. Whichever inbuilt functionalities of matplotlib I want to use, using the alias name, using dot operator, I have to call the corresponding inbuilt function. So I am just calling this plot function and I am passing these two parameters, x and y, these two are given as inputs to my plot function. And plt.show function, it is used for showing the plot here. So I will just show you a simple example of this. What is the use of this matplotlib library? So after typing my code inside the code cell, I need to click the run button. Am I audible to everyone? Please respond. Am I audible? Am I audible? Santosh, yes. Yes, good afternoon. From matplotlib, I am importing pyplot as PLT and then I am storing this x and y values. So matplotlib is one important library for doing any kind of data visualization task. So from matplotlib, I am importing pyplot as PLT and then I am storing this x and y value. So x equal to within square bracket, I am storing some numbers. And y equal to within square bracket, I am storing some numbers. And using this alias name, using dot operator, I am just calling this plot function. And x and y, these two are given as parameters to my plot function. And plt.show function, it is used for showing the plot here. So based on my requirements, so all these are the essential libraries required for doing any kind of data science development. So based on my requirement, I can go for pandas library or I can go, so if I want to perform some mathematical operations, I can go for Numpy library or I can can go for matplotlib for doing any kind of data visualization task. I just gave an introduction to matplotlib library. Next, I am going to discuss with you about some practical implementation of this data science concept. So, how the house prices are being predicted by employing random forest regression algorithm. So, I am going to give a brief introduction to this project. How the house prices are being predicted by employing random forest regression algorithm. So firstly, I will just give a brief overview of this project. 1 minute. So firstly, I will just give a brief overview and then I will discuss with you about the implementation of this project. So how the house prices are being predicted by employing this random forest regression algorithm. So we have different types of machine learning algorithms. So as I was telling you, right, so what do you mean by data science? It is nothing but the scientific study of data. I am going to collect the data. I am going to analyze the data. And then I am going to come up with some important prediction result. What is going to happen in the future? This is what is called as data science. So for example, I want to predict the sale price of houses. So this is one problem. So you can take up any real world problems. So we have different types of algorithms like random forest regression algorithm, or I can go for logistic regression algorithm, decision tree algorithm, SVM algorithm. So based on my requirement, I can use any of these algorithms. So firstly, I am going to give a brief overview of this project. So how I am going to predict the house prices by employing this random forest regression algorithm. So many models. So first I need to identify whether it is a classification problem or a regression problem. So in case of machine learning, we have different types. So one is called as a classification problem and one more is called as a regression problem. So we have two different types of machine learning. One is called as a supervised machine learning model and one more is called as an unsupervised machine learning model. So in case of supervised machine learning, we have two different types of machine learning models. One is called as a classification problem and one more is called as a regression problem. And machine learning models. So I am going to give a brief overview